dāgī jīnsō jībē sōnam jī dōlā pēnjē sāngjē rūparā shūs jē chūdāng sō jē sōnam lā chāngchū bārdō dāni gyab sōng jē dāgī jīnsō jībē sōnam dōlā pēnjē sāngjē rūparā shūs sāngjē chūdāng sō jē sōnam lā chāngchū bārdō dāni gyab sōng dāgī jīnsō jībē sōnam jē dōlā pēnjē sāngjē rūparā shūs. From now on till enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now on till enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now until enlightenment, I take refuge. May I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. किसीला खबर पड़ती होलस हाले लो चांगत परसे
Okay? Yeah. 오늘지나 시 생기게 더니 또 샘기 지야. 시 넘버 좀 많이 봐. 샘 빠페지야 된디시래. 센디단 치마니가 다 오늘 푸경을 뭐배 이시대 주야 샘기 지대 주야 탈람질을 취시 거래. 간지 샘는 교화장대. 뇨모 초디 샘대 주브라진데 아니 집에 쳐라 봐 그래야 가족 그래야지 삼다 두차리요래. 당아 띵우마 미글 왜마 띵임발라. 아주 지쳐대 가르치고나. 샘디 코나 라진데. 단데 왕배에 배 율삼라 바기 니바탐 제데 대응하라다 바기 미제네 배 단데 가서 구두기다 바기 대응이 율잖아 미제네 배 내가 가르베 센디 벤저리 민레 땀레 년라레 텐데라 배 가족이데 세디 코나레지네 디치디가라 디따배 내가 가르지나 디두야 타빌란 내가들 사르네 니 최적인 시야데 다 원에 풍적이 싸워서 그랬는데 공단을 대수모래 다때 인디가라 이 미풍에 탑실다 맥와야 돼 깨침버리 있어
공단은 뭐지 a great master in his composition in a poetry he said it in a very kind of beautiful way that the mindset of ordinary people like us, we always have this thought that, once I finish my chore, then I'm going to do my practice. But he said that thought itself is the root of all of our downfallments. So what he is saying here is that, although Dharma or Buddhist teachings in general is, that shouldn't be something kind of external expressions or whatever that might be, but it should be something that help us to change, transform our inner mind, and transforming our mind, our thought, transforming our rude, mean, rough, those kind of attitude into more peaceful, calm, joy, happy state of mind. And not only for this lifetime only, but also kind of thinking about future lifetime. And that is what is generally considered as Dharma practice. And here Kongda Rinpoche says that ordinary people what we do is we focus our entire effort on this lifetime only, and that to attain, our object of desire through our five senses, five sensory level kind of desire, and so we put everything into that and spend entire time in that and attaining, maybe fame, respect, wealth, possessions, status, and then we have this feeling that once I finish that, then I will do my practice, But that itself is kind of unending job, And here Hongdaran says that when you have that kind of attitude, you have the root of downfallment. Basically, the problem in it, itself is in that kind of attitude. So, so the thing here is that how can we change that, the way of thinking that we are so much familiar and so much used to it.
어다 딘디 인디가라다 신 디다 다 푸야 미율 통통 대당 미율 양ring분하니 양ring분은 남바레스 딘디가라다 가라서 개왕아지 켈링에 아니베 미니비 냥데시야데 개왕이 개왕이니 두자 딘디 차리요레 딘디가라 신 디기 에 자자 두비 땅라 개와치마 미율데
So as Buddhist practitioners who believe in rebirth, who believe in attaining of liberation, enlightenment at the end, so which one is more important for us, this lifetime only, or unlimited numbers of life, future life? So here the thing is that on top of activities that we do for this life, we need to be also doing something that is beneficial for long-term, objectives.
Wada tende indigala sen digi ngana chutta tande min jiten lekebare mi yul min jiten min namche yenge lekebare di indigala ki gumeli 중아지 땡 자왕인 차요 말에 개왕 아마티기 유푼숨 소바지 싸니 아니 단다 민 남체진이 민지선데 구리우들 개발에 대한 다시 템바르 대하래요 말에 남친게 메리 딘주가라 디기티 깡가 구리 삼노단지 가지 민지선난 데베린데라 가서 툭툭지 바기 남체 뜬투비 두부 깡가 삼노단이 Anype range sendi jide papechi tuya lambegwa de shivri. The mother sendi some chebaina chik pagi yupenjori room, tamyan diagram, ping mares sungdo, kundanambuji, rilumba sergi kamaya, around reducing kerame, zoom in root surgeon done by Dinjidin Chimel, Lamga in the sungdoas, the shivuji tezo, Galope missiva tangaranzo. 지단지 머리 버정왕도 춘리게 몽배왕 춘리간다 띠깔롭다 다 루시레스
We are born as a we were born as a human being with human intelligence in a human environment. So from Buddhist perspective, this happened because of not without any causes, but with good causes, good karmic causes that we have planted before. And so therefore we attain this, very precious human rebirth with human intelligence. However, this precious human rebirth, we need to, actively kind of aware that this is by nature impermanent, momentary. And not only momentary, but the time of death and dying is uncertain. There's uncertainty, and so as long as we are alive, living this human, life, we need to make sure that we are using this unique human intelligence at the fullest level, so that we can take benefit of this, auspicious, sacred human life, and try to attain what we truly want. Happiness or peaceness, peacefulness of the mind. And that way we can really make this human life meaningful. Otherwise, if we kind of dedicated, entirely for just limited one lifetime temporary purposes, then you are lacking kind of long-term objective perspective here. And again here, Kung Rinpoche, the same the master who we cited before in his poetic language, he mentioned that even if you manage to gather it, treasures, gold and silver, fill up entire valley, when you die, nothing you can carry. And the 6-syllable mantra that you have recited, if you may have been, that's the only one that can be something beneficial in your future journey. So these are some kind of advices for ordinary people like us to be aware of our own state and be kind of making our livelihood meaningful.
Now, see digi penjur gunin dugu maja chede bangon chende de te kanan gyo marta dujung choshe gore ngumba mebe penjur la diche bayina sindile jene ngumba mebe penjur chachin dugu chende bayina kanche cheche komra ga mare tindugala tani smanwa chene sindigi enbe tokwela kyongme ache sichima pinjege miyuldela chikphage 좀 마다지네 미율도 뚝뚝하지 저거야 돼. 디제 생기 조조 생기 상리래. 남바 상기에 터바스야 돼. 생기 상리래. 미니비 냥데서네 생상이 주니도 못 느끼나 미니비 냥데 디자데다. 즉 사바다만선 추여래. 진짜가 즉 오늘 탄이 수많은 것 있지네. 아니 배 남자 좀 투바지고 돼. 시부지 개침버리스.
Of course, when Kung Rinpoche talks about not having use of those possessions when we die, he's definitely not saying that we should live a life of poverty and not kind of engage in accumulations of wealth or possessions. The point here is one shouldn't be engaged in such a way that such a way that you don't allow any other time for practices. So if you engage in accumulations of wealth and possessions without any sense of satisfaction, contentment, then that becomes sort of obsession without any other activities that you will allow for yourself. And so here it is important to what we usually call kind of not falling into two extremes and trying to stay in the middle way. Yes, you need to work and make money, have a good lifestyle or livelihood. At the same time, you shouldn't be you should be thinking about and doing something that can be beneficial for your peace of mind, something that can be beneficial for your future life as well. So in Buddhism, as you know, when we talk about liberation, attaining of freedom, nirvana, these are qualifications that qualifications, or these are state of mind that we can attain, something that is within it. These are not something external. So when you have that kind of mindset or attitude to begin with, then we are sort of building the foundation, or we are actually planting the seed of the future journey.
대전 찹지라 소소는 딩저여 봐지 왜데 시분이 내침버리 소소는 딩저미나 미젠라 꺼디나 렌데겐 소리 제바이나 소소는 딩저메바이나 대양 즉 견지 차거래 아니 배 소소는 딩저메데 강가 미질라 레공엔저니 차거래 대 견지를 소소고니 미 남자여래 달와게 저러 주창네 린거버래 단데 제바이나 로자래 랑 마체베 제나 로제네 냠타기 동알세야가 아니 장주스베 파인트서 간르지 니제네 파인트서 간르도 대소 시바체 대소 야네야도 삼다 semla tonang male portu 대소 삼다네 두스제바이나 만다지어데 겸그름시 숨도 와스 오다 나랑도 레탕보바 나다 간다버지나 자와 틴디기 숨라 이치제 아니 디토네 이체 디토네 아니 파게 중도솔로 양양도 섬다 양련도 섬 디칼레 섬 그럼 마테 버도 섬당 거래 디엔베 살지 로인즈는 펜더요 말에 와다 두스지네 쉐냠는 제대 두스진 제야래 어다 띠인디가라 ngaranzuta ngamani kinsurum jindi phere yin losa samde oda teka kalala ke tigi be gebana yora nge sarjingi ji tidre oda kalala ke tu lozum mizimata sa parchesiala te pengire oda ti thani sherab tukur gi mi padeso ngamangazo ke shema dizuji samatan thubeina jizun maombana jijegi nyem 니치게나 지투타투 쳬라티 미바치토 치바 치장쳬요레 nga 이 갈단라게 냠nen 티기 쳬네는 지제게 냠nen라 시부지 내 장야요레 셔럽투고 미바테소 와다 티게 시부지 뱀보레 파르체스네 시부지 뱀보레 연라 딩 차자 지티는 상대요레 냠nen 쳬지 바 미시바 둠데보 뉴뉴 진럽 첨부 때리지레스 그래서 윤두지 지기네 야버레스 톱송선 쌈 말레스
it's also also kind of good to have your own kind of self confidence that as a practitioner you know how to do practice and able to recognize your own ability as a human being. As you know, we talk about human being having 8 leisures and 10 endowments, and so that you don't have to in practice you don't have to always kind of rely upon others and going out somewhere to find it, but you can look within yourself and something that out from your self-confidence, your own kind of conviction that these are the practices that I know and that can bring result. And for example, understanding and knowledge of awakening mind or bodhicitta or altruistic mind, practice of compassion, and these are something that not only you can practice by yourself, but you can also help other to know more about this and lead practices. And when you engage in this kind of understanding or reflection or contemplation, the more you engage, the more you understand, it will give you very kind of a special kind of interest, encouragement that will make you further kind of engage in learning and understanding, and there will be definitely different kind of experiences, spiritual experiences, the more you engage into these activities. And as a beginner, Kishila is saying that he himself believes and trusts teachings of great teachers like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and then with the trust and faith in his teaching, he tried to read many books as he can. And again, reading books, just one is not enough. Read more and more, and until that, it brings some kind of changes, transformations in your attitude, in your thought. And so here, for example, we had ex-abbot of a monastery, Losang Samdeng Khenpo. He gave teachings of the 100 deities of Tushita heaven, and later Geshe-la did 2 on the 6 cycle practice of attaining or getting intelligence using that short prayers of Lama Tsongkhapa. These are some prayers that could be really practices, short practices, yet very profound in kind of purification, removals of obstacles. And these practices includes all those 7 limb practices, and also these practices are later helpful, especially if you later have practice of like a Yamandaka retreat. The basic foundation are all in those the short text, and so these are short practice, but highly considered as a blessed, very effective. And these are some practices that you can do in your kind of regular practices as a Buddhist practitioner.
장 갈난 라게고니 그 맞아 이 가르사 이슈 라간데나 ruchi chichoimba tedungi galdanage sherabtukur mi pate juimba wata ti sherabtukur mi pache te dang ani jijegi jiturat ku mi pasati yore tengi chikpa chiganchen digire pento yore galdanage te to kyangpare o nga ta shabaina ta nimegi dojen najurgi idam dojin jiche dam pa 냠는 데는데 잡는 줘야 요래 시분 마음바나 시우지 때도 사주 침부 차고 하래 이 양이양도 즉 그런서 엄마 공연도서 이쯤도 갈라라게 로지 미지마 로지 두스나 파르셔세야 팽기리 셔럽기야나 팽기리 시우지 진입 침부를 있어.
And those who have received those teachings, the 100 deities of Trishita heaven, you were saying it was given teaching by, as said before, Kanambuchi, one of the church. But that practice is practice solely based on the system of sutra. And in tantric or Vajrayana practice, then you can basically kind of, use the same foundation, same way of doing practice, using a meditational deity, so deity Yamantaka, and through that practice, you can do practice again and again, and these are helpful, as said before, purifications of obstacles, but also, developing intelligence. Really kind of helpful. So not only kind of intellectual understanding is enough. You need to, if you have attended those teachings before, try to kind of implement it.
What do you do? That kandenga gejor kandi cheba ina. Ani tabshi zungil chede. Kizanga matali shu imbas nyamlen chedan chelu dozo. Sumone kenchen bore. Ngana ji she ani nyamlen jar matu ina kanje she sha gedana sim ni parula tongcha jinde ina di chede semle pingyo mare kanje rang semla jar thu bata jarwa de lalel khet ho jugo ne che sho de cha de res guba che shore.
So as we discussed in the previous teachings too, kind of whatever practice recitations that you do, it is important to kind of have a combination of method and wisdom aspect, and whatever you studied, it should be having benefit to your mind. It should be kind of it should be mixing. It should be kind of impacting your way of thinking. Otherwise, if you leave a gap between intellectual understanding, and how you think, that gap kind of shows that what you are studying and learning is not really benefiting you.
What the nigala one Jugakatuina Yalane mi cheda Niji minam tosu Kantuma Pendoyare, Shivuji Labchi. 소스 셈라 이지드tunela 랍침부 pundayor ekatuina minam toto sikang soso ticheyena karmachu changachto sinjene minam kyang ani te thane tonle mi bache ani tuschene ani chikchuna tak ngaronso tongni korne chimachi ngebachi 용구 말했지 카버레디 국배 시월 카버레 가서 투투직 레지점지 과차 에투스타지 이안에 양도 삼다에 내침버레 두스제베나 탑시 존들 냠nenle 누구 아래 어디 지단에 동이 시엔데 카버 시월에 카버다 카버레 카버지 유야 된자원이는 말에 가서 투투 삼당 거래 카버 임바다 겸거머신 숭구도와 겸거머신 공로 쭈루니 존데 동일로 공부하시면 인스 다시니 로가시 초지 이 돌아배 내가 쉬우지 장용도 송도와 거다 또스레 간제 아니 가담배 계시듯다 로 야차나 미킹냐 맞아 냄지 깨용 저도 숭도와 즉 도바싱인데 도바 개발 진생인데 즉 수수 소바지나 로 예탐진에 깨기면은 꼭 배수진 냄지네 깨용 그래스 배나 그것이 그것이 um중화인 봐요. 콩 에너랑게 라마라네 배 잡서지 아니 과대 쇼간도 디가라네 배 두길로 떠버통이 예 루기든지 숨도 오다 된데네 오다 두신디가라 간제 가수지 고아당 가수지 시바데 유토를 자르투바지 냠 중화이나 펜도용 그레스 mambo ngarange shigyo marla kanching gazu tubade susu phage samlutang gachi gore
So when you get up in the morning, try kind of spending a short time, maybe 10-15 minutes, reflecting or contemplating on compassion, such as compassion, and then practice of Thonglen, giving and taking. And if you can, although it is extremely difficult, but just maybe fake, artificial, generic understanding of emptiness, and being difficult doesn't kind of means that we ignore it. And His Holiness, as he says that although he has interest in understanding of emptiness when he was 16 years old, but nowadays he gets kind of some understanding. So you see how long it takes in kind of attaining the actual understanding of or getting the taste of emptiness. And in the sayings of great Kadamba masters, even realizations takes 100 years. However, in future, in some time, it will definitely attain. So, but what is important here is whatever you learn, you understood, it should kind of intertwine with your mind, your thought, your way of thinking, and through that you will have some kind of benefits. And Krishna is saying that he himself doesn't know much about all of this, but whatever he knows, he try to kind of think about and contemplate and share with us.
야, 다 두스리 아니 즉 뭐네 가와 간지나 자주기 셈기 짐비지 가와 제바이나 가와테 다 추수스르고 말에 오다티 군ung 자주기 셈비지 그 짐바고 와래 아니 도당이라 자와니 고 셈게 자주기 셈 삼노다야 주 모아제데 다 계절 끝이나 티쳐거래 시부지네 점보래 도당이라 자와 어느 와야 돼 우소장은 와야 당 나랑기에는 배 춘령 어떻게 자외라 마다 경근 경험보 된디 구시자베 생야라 와야 당 와다 상기 템바니 비 유린도 네발라 와야 당 와첨 숨세다 두스레 등목이나 개가래 게자데 톨란두고 말에 랑게가 제샤데 아니 배 좀도 말에 때마다 망외배 게자지나 공로 깨지지케나 갈바통도 잡에 가자다 갈바 게스베 가잔 좀 그러지네 전주도 오마 처면 오마 주변에 세고 숨도 와 와다 되게 지지네 가지 랑기 개와 치중 간디시 바이나 디 니발된 바지 용알라 주 모아체네 베 니체거래 배샤다 마소나 뱅레 주샤나 고 라야기 녀가 아요 말와 그 제가선 또는 펠레아게로 와요 와다 두 스킨 로샤이나 좀 누가 뭐 맞지 게자데 나랑서 직 뱅레 마주지 배샤 마르고 방 먹고도 냐다 집지 냐래 또 시지도 와지야데 빼미스 끝뒤나 주토 때마다 개와치 사빈 주거든 주토 때마다도 와치데 개침버리 dizu ne chembore desu ko tui ne chaware.
And something that you can do every time whenever you do practice, whatever positive activities that you do, making sure that it is done with the intention of altruistic mind, and making sure that as we see in text that mind training text, two chores, one at the beginning, one at the end. One at the beginning is intention, generating a good intention, and then at the end dedication, whatever positive activities that you created, dedicating at the end so that it don't get wasted. Dedication, three great dedication, first one being dedication to attaining of enlightenment, second dedication to long life of a spiritual teacher from whom you have received teachings directly, and then third dedication for the long life of Buddhist teachings. And otherwise, as mentioned in Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, and also engaging in the middle way path, that one moment of anger can destroy dharma that you created for 100 or 1,000 years. So dedication is like like a positive merit that you created, kind of depositing in the bank. So not only there is a safety, but there is a highly likelihood of further kind of increasing, maybe getting sort of interest. Unlike keeping kind of a cash, which there's always a risk. So we need to kind of make sure that what we have created positive merit, concluding that with practice of dedication.
Oda teda nyamdu la ani chulu kandaji na mi kandaji ne mi tela namche yare mi gi di yare tela chedong jagwa de ke chimbore ani chulu jen la gu page gu baja chedongji rang chulu de ani nyamling gi nele membaji chetuweji juwaina chulu tunde yongwa me mi jen la chedong jagena mi tunde yongwa la pingor 어떻게 마방아 최바인스데 네페 뚜룰지 차나 준데 베존데 제바이나 대견지레스.
And along with those practices, it is kind of important to just kind of showing a respect to any other people, because just being other individual human being, they have their own intelligence, so they deserve respect, and likewise different faith and tradition. You can the faith and tradition, or the practice that you have of yours, making sure that it becomes effective, productive for yourself, but at the same time kind of showing a respect and sense of appreciation for other tradition and other spiritual faith. Otherwise, sometimes it is also kind of it could also become problematic when practitioners kind of secluded themselves alone in some kind of retreat, and then kind of tends to look down upon other practices, and that kind of attitude could have kind of a problem.
Oda दूसरे तातंडी निकला गांजेती ngana so nija chigi tape samlutan chochi dus chagorta katui ina ta nija chigi dus china samta vaina tenden groent guare oda ti chik diche ta khasa phage chamnem pha logi nas 다 오늘 가보래. 소면나 일길대 시야돼. 어떻게 그 참대 랩디어래.
So what I said before is something that is practice that one can engage in kind of day-to-day life practices. Now, with that, we will go back to the continuation of the text.
오다 가사가 다음에 추기 다음에 세다원에 동이때 동반이 두제때라 아니 가사가 다음에 리브투바 추기 다음에 리브투바 다 추기 다음에 세야데 간지 추시데 간지를 구구하래 다디제 간 추시데라 풍복함다 계제 세다 풍송하당 아니 감당 계제 중이라서 받아 되게 돼 지단에 융크라나 생이라 랑게 온진바 취기 생이 시거래 간지 소랑랑게 투모만이 뭐레레레레 연대건지라 취세 시거래 왔다 때야 아니 랑징 마투바데 세데 두야데 티크타 디투비 리바데 숨거래스
So we are going through the text on emptiness. Emptiness. We saw selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena, and we finished the first part, selflessness of person. Now going on to the next, selflessness of phenomena. Phenomena basically refers to things other than a person. So under that could come 5 aggregates, 12 sources. In the text we find a definition of meaning of phenomena being something that holds its own identity. And so here we are saying that all phenomena, or object or things, is by nature lack of inherent existence or selflessness.
오다 그나디니 마 로고스로 니바 추기다메 텔람바베 술라스 추니 풍보당 감당 계제소소 대사게 상도 젠진링키기 중웨 가짜 마탈 가르 가짜 마탈 투방 웬진바니 신도 갈체진 사오당 신도 갈체진 진술남 셰진도 스타 가자 가르잖아 풍부 감 계제 디기디 상네 다 파게 진진리키 진술디 순거는 진술 나랑도 파게 나 용도 갈라 직에 랑게 풍부 zugi pumbu inanda tsuro pumbu tati tinte lagumendo ta ngaranzo pumba zonreji inanda kawa susu longchechi chuechi kandechi nang yongdu kala pagi korang yul korang chubi naji nangindu mato tes tueni chubadang soba mangpojel chubadang je chata chachenchene tinte chubzulji ten zawanyi nangimindo wasi wata manangde yade nang zulde korang wani yul ni pagi 수두도 주베지 난 따띠 낭줄데 나랑서 낭줄 따가랑 덴진레키 낭줄데 차디요래 따띠 르벤젠당 주자 젠기 오 닌디르제 조타네 랍샤게데 땐 저인 차마랑 아존앙줄데 고짱함에 꼼베 왕기 낭줄데 랭키기 낭줄세 주데 왕게네 페 조타네 애니 지 짐바지 깨베이나 데너벤 진줄데나 낭줄데 애니 조다 군다 생인데 따뜻이 대차가
So if you have a same book, it's on page 129, middle of the page, how to determine the selflessness of phenomena. The techniques for determining the selflessness of phenomena involve taking the mental and physical aggregates, the spheres of sense recognition and the basis of the cognitive faculties as indicative of phenomena. It is extremely important to recognize that the object to be negated, which in this case is what is apprehended by the innate conception of true existence projected onto those phenomena, is neither too extensive nor too narrow. The ways in which we misconceive things as truly existent have already been explained. So here it says that we already explained that before, how we misconceive things. Misconceive in a way that things exist out there, phenomena that they exist self-sufficiently, independently, and that's how things perceives to us, and that their existence has nothing to do with the cause and effect, nothing to do with its different parts and the main body, factors and conditions, as if they exist independently, self-sufficiently, objectively, and that is misconception, and that kind of misconception is considered as innate. It's that we all have kind of similar misconception. It is not something that derived from studying a philosophical, understanding, and therefore these are more kind of innate misconception. And the other level, when you acquired misconception through learning, such as philosophy or concept or doctrines, those are considered as imputed, or exaggerated misconception. The misconception that we are talking here is kind of innate. No.
What दूसरे 풍속이 취지기 성 취지도 틀리고네 다음에 버때는 밥에 순니 다 참에 시절라 미시바카 지tum나 차치수 리베 좀 리베 좀네 두베체 차차전 랑게 칭이 두바 랑진 지 타데베 제베체 랑게 칭이 두베 랑진 지발라 남이 타데 매칭 지두 규술당 랑진 타데네 달왕 고출때 랑진 지 타데 강도 마주바 랑진 메페 술남 가사가 다음에 갑수 셰팔타르 쉐탐제 카페니 셰퍼자오 시tat 직 다디 카페니 주 가레이나 리바데 타 펜펜 뉴구치 덴바르멘데 텐델림베 칠세다 오다 텐데 아니 뉴구치 덴바르멘데 지도 투마 카노다 탈레 칠세니 오다 리바데소 타 페나 यूनन ची मत लाया न तो कल पे जाने ने राणा जार छोगरे जना जार छोगो छ कानी जिना दूसरे ने जाने ने पे पाते की ता जंबर में बटू बुरे से सुंगो ता थर तू ना तेरे
the way to determine selflessness by means of the reasoning that phenomena such as the aggregates are free from truly being one or many is to discard the notion that existence as we understand it is partless. When we have established through reasoning that an existent phenomena has parts and analyzed that the parts and the possessors of parts, for instance the body and its limbs, are naturally of the same or different natures in terms of existing by way of their own characteristics, then for them to be inherently of one nature means they will exist as one without any distinction whatsoever. If they are different in nature, we must reject any relationship between them, such as that between the aggregates and the person. These methods for determining the lack of inherent existence by establishing that things can exist neither as inherently the same nor as inherently different are like those presented in the course of explaining the selflessness of person. They should be understood by replacing the subject or phenomenon accordingly. So we have seen using a different kinds of logic. For example, one mentioned here is exist neither as inherently the same nor as inherently different, and that's the one reasoning. Another reason, more common one, is reasoning of dependent arising. That all phenomena lack inherent existence or independent existence because by nature they are dependent arising. So by using those reasoning, you can apply that reasoning to any object or phenomena. That's what is meant by the final word. They should be understood by replacing the subject of phenomenon accordingly.
다른 소소라 ngan 토보 인데긴 슈추모 인게 ngachiche nemarmente tendelim bichirsigin de sonredo susambe ani ngade chebache dosine ngachiche rajingi mad 땡델림 비실서 삼상 우신 제베제베이나 펜도 연구로서니 여름 지향내도 수도 왔어.
His Holiness often kind of says that especially people with a very strong sense of self-grasping, you can use this reasoning. I does not exist inherently because it is dependent on arising. So with that reasoning, you need to contemplate, analyze how this so-called I or self or person exists. Within or with yourself, and when you do that kind of analysis, then it will be really beneficial in reducing this kind of strong grasping to self.
당보 땡델 수디가라 과심 레기미도 과샤기미도 그 삼은 당게 땡는 중에 수디가라 나랑줄 낭줄데 수도도 낭술지야래 땡는 중에 수도도 낭술데 말씀섬지 삼로지 고르고도 와 고려야지도 와 디게서 땡델 디 시데 땡델 제치니 배 따다서 체단이가 슬기 세 지자리인다 리비 잡고 땡델 기든지 리비 잡으시 와데 코 시디 땡델 시야데 따다서 체다 탄이가 슬기 니바 여인 임베 왕기 에네베 잡고 시야데 숨구에서 와 딘두가라 삼마다나 삼다나 칼레 삼다나 롤 다왔잖아 아니 직데라 직 니바 여와지데 소수기 다 삽주 전부지다 용금이도 돼 간지 직 누아 된지
The reasoning of dependent origination or dependent arising is considered as the king of all reasoning in order to establish lack of inherent existence of phenomena, and because this dependent origination or dependent arising in Tibetan is tendel, dependent, or what does that mean? That word means that it means whatever that exists, the phenomena is the result of dependent on something. So it automatically kind of negates or refutes inherent existence, independent existence, and this reason is called king of reason because just using this reason, one will be able to kind of, avoid two extremes of nihilism and eternalism just by, this reason alone. So although this has a much deeper kind of understanding or interpretation why it is called such, the king of the reason, but, this is what actually is saying that his understanding of this meaning of the word.
오늘 이 고구에나 겨울 무치기 아니 바게 사와시라고 숭 인지나다 예 인터넷 냉년나 인규야래 부일도 부일이 산다 규르샤가 망고야래 디게티 라인나 년치 이안이안도 삼다나 덴덴 아마 삼다에다나 치마 년치 삼다니 만다지 덴네 연구도 어디 또 쓰네 예, 결혼소이 돈한이나 대 삼탕과도 15년 내지 뭐 여름지 숙년나 펜도 연구도 와.
So if you have interest in this kind of topic, you can listen to His Holiness teachings on this text, fundamental wisdom, and teaching is of course available online and translations in English as well. And for himself, there's a big difference is, the understanding of how things exist before listening to this kind of teaching, and then after listening to the teachings, there's a big differences of understanding, especially in this concept of inherent or lack of inherent existence.
와다 다트조 내세견데나 경조 갈카로지레 에다 시라 게 디지그면서와 겨울은 뭐지 거기 디 년바이나 겨울은 뭐지 미시바 고대 붙이는도 식 타보다 쉬우지 누바 남아서는 뒤져 남아서는 차선 쫄데 레라보 쉬우지 숭 두부도 디인디가라 때중에나 펜다용 거리 당 가다미비 따게 고네 라진 메프라 텔람 법출니 풍소나게 텐델남 텐닌 중에 네 라진 텐남 라진 기투바 jitin gotul ni rajin ki tuba teni jenle rale pala galjin tati nguma rajin ki tubi na jenla rapa lebata galwa yimbata ngosate borwa chik korangone su yulum korangone tumdeginji na jenla rale wayo mare oda weekend te wayo mare 차이네 차전레스 또 와요 말에 차코랑 수두도 두는 초다 마소나 샤 수두도 샤르네 베 수두바지 요이나 아니 누블라스도 고합니다 샤르 누블라스도 두고니 자고로와 그거 샤르터도 인근데 누터도 인데긴지 땐자완이니요 말와 어다 티수순 거래 가시 때는 중화되니 젠라라 젠라라레베 젠라 더비치로스 왜나 멜로나게 중년신 난기 유견 뚜말었더니 중급에 델레 라왕 술 수투베 라지에나 디 나율도 투베 레 나율라 머투아지 괴쇼 데나 텔라 나웨 낭술당 중년기 낭술 퉁괴라 디 미tum방 무슨기 너바세니 중년기 상도 텐중당 라진기 tuva jituna no patonjing tenjung ranjing ki tuve tombar tobe se chukunla jambar chao sawata chik te sunguara oda kanji tenjung sedigala 가야돼 가라 거라 가고 아래 그랑 수도 중네 유 그랑 오늘 중인데 램삼 너베 땡 거래 세순 거래 다팅 갈와 통도 갈라 디다 사무타이나 땡땡 디 고투야지 차디어래 수순 거래 딘티스 자마사지
So we'll take a break after reading this part. Page 130. Again, for better explanation, we'll start into his Holiness teachings, and his teachings is very kind of significant. That in a way that he, makes a profound, complicated concept unfold in a very easy, to understand for ordinary people. So here we will continue with the reading. 130. The manner in which the lack of inherent existence is determined by employing the reason of the existence of the opposite of inherent existence, dependent arising, is that this is another reason to establish lack of inherent existence of phenomena here. It is easy to ascertain that all relationships, internal and external, such as those between the mental and physical aggregates, arise in dependence upon something else. The way to refute a common basis between such relationships and inherent existence is as follows. It is content exist inherently and be in contact with something else, and whatever exists in dependence on causes and conditions must be in contact with something else. So when we say that, hypothetically, if things exist independently or inherently, what it means is that it naturally kind of negates, dependent origination or dependent arising or dependence. And for example, if you say, direction east, if east direction exists independently, inherently itself, without depending on any other thing, then direction east should be always east. However, that is not the case. East is east because there is the opposite, there is a west, because of the West there is the East. So it is the very existence of the East depends on the existence of the West. There is no East or no West, which in itself is always the East and always the West. It is dependent origination or dependent arising. So same kind of applies with, on one object when there's a part and the main body. There is a part because there's a main body. There's a main body because there's a part. So they are, totally kind of dependent upon each another for their kind of such existence. For instance, a reflection in a mirror must arise in dependence on many causes and conditions, such as the mirrors being clean, the position of the reflected object and perceiver, and so forth. If it is its nature to be able to stand under its own power, it must appear undistortedly to the perceiving mind to which it appears. And if that is so, the way in which it appears there and the reflection's actual mode of subsistence should be consistent. Because inconsistency is proved by reality, we see that finding a common basis between inherent existence and dependent arising based on the example of a reflection is contradictory. In bracket it says the reflection of a face in the mirror appears to be a face. For this appearance to comply with the actual mode of subsistence, the reflection should be a face in the mirror. Because it is not, the perception is distorted with regard to the object that appears to it.
tenjung rajing itu be tongwa tombe chukun la jawa chao. Teyang da me bel tawa number toba. Kolsani ni de seda da teni jin logire.
Okay, so he finished that section of the reading to page 131. When you have realized that dependent arising is empty of inherent existence, apply your understanding to all phenomena. There is scope for two kinds of mistake in realizing the pure view of selflessness, the views of eternalism and nihilism.
Law method.
Oh, okay, yeah, we should have stopped here, so we'll take a break here.